Good evening, Wood County. I'm Madeline Fenning, news director here at BG24 News. Every week, we bring you the stories that matter most on campus, in the community, across the state and nation. The producers panel is where we take a step back and talk about the stories in our own opinion. But these opinions do not reflect the views of the organization and do not impact the way we cover these or any other stories throughout the week. Tonight we will discuss how Ohio is affected by the latest Ebola patient. We'll also talk about the self-image issues in college and how they can affect more than just your confidence. And finally, we'll break down the new Apple products for you and talk about if we plan to buy. It's all next on your BG24 News Producers Panel. Well, all eyes are on Ohio with the latest in Ebola. A nurse who was directly working with an Ebola patient in Dallas was just in Ohio. Nurse Amber Vinson traveled by plane from Cleveland to Dallas on October 13th after visiting family in Akron. Vinson had a slight fever and alerted authorities that she could potentially be showing symptoms of the disease before she flew. But the CDC cleared the nurse to fly, saying she did not seem symptomatic enough. Now, Ohioans and air travelers are worried about the spread of this deadly disease. So before we get into this, I want to go on ahead and introduce our panel. To my left, we have Matt Heitkamp, executive producer here at BG24 News. We have Megan Gallagher, our general manager, and our guest this week, Candace Bridges, a reporter with BG24. So thanks for being here, you guys.
Thank you, Madeline.
No problem.
So definitely Ebola has been on the tip of everyone's tongue, for the past few weeks, but now Ohio specifically is on, the tip of everyone's tongue in the nation because it has been connected to Dallas and connected to the world now with this disease. So as Ohioans, are you worried? How does that make you feel?
I'm not worried, to be honest. Yes, Ebola is a very serious issue, but you got to look at how there's plenty of measures being taken, and she was actually one of the two patients who was treating the original guy who had it, and that was 2 out of 76. And there were both measures are being taken to take care of it.
Absolutely, it's definitely a serious disease, and a lot of people are really scared. But I think a lot of it, honestly, and some people have said this, that the biggest disease about this is the spread of all of the unnecessary anxiety across the internet. And I mean, have you guys been seeing a lot of that activity online with people discussing it?
Yes, I actually have on Instagram and on Twitter. People constantly talk about it, and I don't think they're educated on the disease, so they make it more panic for everyone else.
Absolutely, and I know I saw something online about there was a lot of people who were saying that we need to close all schools in Ohio, because of the connection now. And it's, I mean, I don't know, as someone who's very paranoid about this disease, I mean, how would you explain to them that they don't need to be afraid?
I think that what's important to know is that it's hard to study this disease because I think there's a lot right now, like a lot of blaming, and everyone's like, why isn't the CDC doing more to understand this and control this? But they're in the same place that all of us are, and they are trying to figure it out. But Ebola is just it's such a crazy disease. The way that you get it, the way that it attacks the body so fast that they don't have time to really study it well, because it's in someone's body and then it's gone, and you have to be so precautious when you are dealing with this disease because you can get it and people are getting it.
And who wants to be that person who's the experimental Ebola patient? Like,
right.
no, cure me.
one.
Like, cure me with what you know will cure me, or you think
could
will
not
best
pay
cure
me enough.
Exactly. It's like, we don't have time for that. You know what I mean? That's something that's definitely scary.
Yeah, I believe the two nurses that were infected, and the reason was not enough protective gear. So I guess, and those measures are definitely going to be stepped up for everyone surrounding. And I know, like the hospital that they are staying at, people have to sign legal contracts that say at all times they gotta let people know where they are, what they're doing, etc.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people were saying, is that they were like, how could the CDC let her fly? She called the CDC before she flew saying, like, I have a fever, it's at this, temperature now, which is not it wasn't the like Ebola scare temperature, but it was still, she knew she had worked in close contact with an Ebola patient who died, and she, she was actually, from what I remember reading, was the fluid nurse, the nurse who was in charge of his fluids, which is the #1 way you get this. And she had a fever, even if it was slight, before she got on that plane. Do you think it's the CDC's fault for letting her fly, or do you think it's her fault for getting on the plane at all?
I think it's personally the CDC's fault, actually, because she felt that she might have had the disease, but it was her first mind. She should have followed her first mind and didn't fly and went to the hospital immediately. Yeah.
See, and I think also you have to consider, well, the CDC was probably like, if this girl does have Ebola, then she has Ebola in Ohio, and in Dallas is where we are currently like the best at treating it, where we have already been starting to treat it. Because I kind of think, unfortunately, as you know, these people are getting sick and someone has already died, I kind of think that trial and error is what's going to be the thing that helps everyone solve how to like treat this.
Yeah.
And also, you know, Thomas Duncan was stricken with Ebola way before he came to the U.S.
That is true.
So they didn't have a lot of time to even figure out how to solve it.
That is true. I mean, it's crazy to think that it's you know, come to the United States and that it has, you know, reached now Ohio. And I know that we had some conversations with some of the health officials at Wood County hospitals, and they said that we are prepared, you know, if Ebola were to come here, that they do not believe it will at any point. If this is something that were to spread more than it is now, where would you feel the most safe or the most protected?
Well, I mean, obviously, like a hospital, of course, or something like that, where they have protective measures. I don't think it'll get to that point, but of course, I mean, hypothetically, yeah, obviously, I would think hospitals, and I feel like there's plans being made in motion if anything like that would happen.
Definitely. I think the fact that we're so near the Cleveland Clinic is important, because that is such a huge hospital that has, you know, is world renowned and is really awesome. I mean, if I were Amber Vincent, I would have just been like, I'm in Cleveland, I'm just going to go straight to the Cleveland Clinic and say, quarantine me, you know, especially because she knew what, you know, could potentially happen. So it's really interesting. I don't know. But something that we'll definitely need to be keeping an eye on, and that we'll definitely be keeping you guys up to date on at home. So when we come back, we're going to be discussing self-image issues in college and how they can affect your life in more ways than one. Stay with us. Welcome back. Staying healthy in college is tough, but maintaining a healthy self-image can be even harder, and some say can fall by the wayside. Reporter Candace Bridges says the University Wellness Department is looking to change that.
BGSU Recreation and Wellness and Dining Services participated in I Love My Body Week by hosting and creating a positive self-image discussion. The conversation focuses on the importance of staying fit, eating healthy, and getting sleep. Former student Bianca Thomas-Ville speaks about her battle with her self-image and explains why students don't prioritize their health.
For right now, it's like I want to reach these goals. I want to do well in school. I want to secure an internship. So because you want to be successful in life, who cares about my body?
Fitness educators express to students how you should love the positives and negatives of your body. But poor nutrition and lack of physical activity can have a negative impact on your self-image. Health educator and fitness coordinator Karen Smith says how living unhealthy can prevent you from succeeding.
If you're not feeling well, if you're stressed, if you're not eating well and giving your body good nutrients, you're not going to be able to succeed, you know, in the classroom, in your career, and reach those future goals that you do have.
Presenters provided fun exercises, health tips, and nutritional facts to help motivate healthy living. Smith says that eating healthy and staying fit will help you have a more positive self-image. Recreation and Wellness says making your body a priority will help you obtain a positive self-image and accomplish your college goals. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Candace Bridges.
Definitely interesting stuff there, and we have reporter Candace Bridges here with us. So, Candace, you know, you were there. It's definitely an interesting take on self-image. I think is you know, applying it to the way that you eat and the level of exercise that you have. You know, what else did you gather that was maybe kind of new in your understanding of self-image from the event?
Well, to start it off with, it is I Love My Body Week here at BGSU.
Oh.
So basically I learned that staying fit and good nutrition can affect your daily life. It can affect you from accomplishing the goals you want to accomplish. So as college students, we put our education at a higher level. So we kind of put the importance of our body behind it. And we really need to make our body a priority so we can actually accomplish the goals that we really want to.
So, and that's the thing, what was interesting was that maybe for someone who's not athletic or doesn't work out a lot or anything like that, maybe they might not think about the fact that, you know, fitness and working out is something that's like good for them as a whole. I mean, are you guys like you know, rec goers or, you know, people that work out a lot? I know
Not
that
as much.
you do,
A
I think,
little
right?
bit. I should do more. I work out a bit, but the eating thing is, I know that I am terrible. The food that I put on my is no good. I think it's just, it feels like it's more expensive to go out and eat healthy, and that's just how I feel about that.
No, absolutely. I mean, salads at McDonald's are like 3 times the price of a burger. So
Well, I don't think I'd
understand
even
that.
eat a salad at McDonald's.
Yeah, well, I think I've learned a lot about self-image and like loving my body in college. I gained like probably 20 pounds after my sophomore year, and I just was not happy with myself. And it affected a lot of the things that I did, and especially, I mean, in the jobs that we're in, it's, you know, you watch yourself all the time, so you're
absolutely.
constantly reminded of that. And there's a lot of jobs like that you are seeing yourself. So I ended up losing a lot of weight, and then I gained some of it back last year, but this year I really tried to be more healthy and just working out every 20 minutes. People say that even like a 20-minute workout, and they're like once a day helps you. And also eating healthier. I'm not a very good cook, but I've been trying to like do that more.
A lot of us aren't.
No,
Yeah,
but trying to
definitely.
eat healthier has pushed me to become like a better cook, which is going to, you know, help me in my longer term of life. So I think it's definitely helped me a lot. I can say that I'm happier with the way that my life is going, which I think is also some people get confused about what self-image is. It's not just about the weight that you've lost or like your body, but it's how you see yourself in your whole life.
Yeah, it's like your attitude. Actually, I just learned about this in my comm class the other day. We were talking about it, just about how it's the attitude or the way that you feel and the way you see yourself. And it's really interesting because I know that in college, like, you know, you said everyone's like, oh, I don't have time to work out, or I don't have time to, you know, eat healthy, and it just takes more time and stuff. And I think that I genuinely think students think they're a lot busier than they actually are. And that is, and I know that we're all busy. Like, I know that I am, for one, staying in tonight to do homework, but I think it's something that once you make that time, and once you get into, I think it's a rhythm, like a
It's
habit.
the way you live your life, basically, which we need to do, definitely. And your story is actually quite similar to Bianca Thomasville, who I actually interviewed. So yeah, she gained weight in college, and she didn't like her self-image, so she improved it by staying fit and keeping a journal. Like she said, keeping a journal can collect your thoughts and how you feel about yourself, and then once you read back in your journal after staying fit and having good nutrition, you can see how more positive you are about yourself, like how your self-image improved.
I think it's like just getting into a routine is what I always think of it. I think of it as like a job or just, you know, a class or something that, you know, you're supposed to go to, you're supposed to do every week or every day. And once you can do that, it's a lot easier to keep it going.
Yeah, I know that, and I think it's pretty obvious that obviously self-image issues are, you know, very focused on with girls. But as a guy, you know, I don't know, how do you feel like self-image issues amongst guys is different from girls?
Well, I mean, there's some similarities. There's obviously some differences too with guys. It's, you know, the working out. A lot of guys think, you know, just pumping the iron, getting the big muscles is important, but actually, I don't think so. And the experts I've talked to, you know, it's all about your cardio. You want to, I mean, being overly muscly and whatever, that's not what you want to go for. You want to just go for fit.
Yeah.
Which, and there's a big difference between fit and what, you know,
Being
what
really
big,
muscular.
you know, what people want to see, I
Right.
guess.
Well, what I think too, like from what I've learned, is I make myself get up earlier, and I take, like I said, 25 minutes out of your morning, which I'm kind of just sometimes sitting there like, well, am I supposed to get ready now? Because my body always wakes up early anyway. So it's kind of like, it's like she said, I've looked back and I'm happier with myself, and it's not because I am all muscly and I'm totally fit and lean, but I'm just like seeing some changes, and it makes my whole day better. And now, if I haven't done my morning workout, I'm irritated all day long.
Oh my gosh, I know that I need to just find a workout that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's so
definitely.
hard.
That's what's hard, because I hate running. I hate it. The
I
whole
cannot
time
run.
I feel like
Nope.
I'm just abusing myself is what it feels like. And so, and I also don't like doing like crunches and things like that. So I just, honestly, if I go out on the weekend, I'm just like, well, let's go dance.
Yeah.
And I just dance my heart away like all night long. And that's kind of the way I do it. Maybe it's not
That's
the
a
best
great
way,
workout,
but
actually.
Yeah.
Dancing is a great cardio workout, a great cardio
You need to go to Zumba.
Oh, that's what I should do. I just want to, can I bring the Zumba
Yeah.
to like Clazelda?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely. But actually, the recreation and wellness is offering free classes this week. Also, they offer free Zumba classes and yoga classes throughout the whole entire semester.
I think that's key, is doing something that you enjoy, like playing basketball or some type of sport that can keep you going, not just flat out running or
Yeah.
working out.
Definitely. Well, maybe during the break we can go on ahead and try to brainstorm some group workout ideas for us. But when we come back, we're going to discuss the new Apple products and whether or not they're really as exciting as they seem. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, everyone still seems to be excited about the new iPhone 6, but just this week, Apple unveiled another new line of gadgets, this time breaking records. Apple unveiled the new iPad Air 2, now the world's thinnest tablet. The company also released a new iPad mini, both of which feature the new fingerprint scanner. So what I'd like to ask you guys is, Apple just obviously revealed the iPhone 6, and they have the new watches out and everything. Is it time for another new line of products, especially one that, honestly, I don't think people are really using much of anymore?
See, I think that it is all a lot, and I remember when the first Air came out, and I think that was really neat, but I kind of think this is leaving everyone kind of like, is this even necessary, like you said? Like, how much thinner can it get? Like, and how, like, it's just not really something people can buy it right now. Like, they're like, I have a nice thin computer. Why would I want one that's like a little bit thinner? Like, it doesn't seem like a necessity.
Yeah, this one is less than a pound. I almost feel like I'm gonna break it if I have it in my hand.
It's just one big thin
I don't
piece
see
of-
the whole hype, because in these products, something comes out, well, what's the point? In 2 weeks, something new is gonna come out.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And it makes it unaffordable, honestly. Like, if you already have a nice product that works just the same,
Yeah.
why upgrade?
Definitely. I think it's a response. I think Apple thinks, there's this weird thing with Apple where they think their responsibility is once they've made technological advances to release them. I think, though, it's their responsibility to not encourage frivolous spending and not to encourage people to think like, oh, now that this has a new improvement, that means that you
have to have it.
You have to have it. Also, I think it encourages this idea of, your product is now obsolete. You are now obsolete because you don't have this product.
I have a friend that will literally, buy every upgrade, every new thing that Apple comes out with, and we always are just like, why? Like, and I mean, where do you get that money?
It's expensive.
It's so
It is.
expensive,
Yeah.
and like, what do you do with everything when you're done with it? Like, I could not imagine having three nice phones just sitting in like a desk somewhere that I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
use.
Absolutely. And I think also one of the big things that makes me concerned is within the past month basically have released the new iPhone. They've released their Apple Watches, and now they have the new iPads out, and they always have computers. So it's like how many screens do they really want you to have? You know what I mean? Like how many things at the same time do you really need to have in
I
your
don't
life?
think morals are going through the executive heads at Apple. I think the wallets is what's going through
Yeah.
their head.
Absolutely. No, it's crazy.
Well, and what I think is interesting too is now, like, it's almost, if you have one thing, you don't need a laptop and a tablet and a phone because they all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Before it was like, oh well, your phone can make phone calls, but your laptop can't do that. So
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, if I think about it, like I do a lot of things for my phone, obviously things I want to take more time with, like job applications and this and that, like I'm doing on my laptop and everything. And then I could see where the watch is kind of, is cool. I mean, I would kind of feel like James Bond, you know what I mean? I really would. But I can't imagine if I had all of them that I'd use all of them.
I have to go with I agree with you with the watch. I wouldn't think I'd
What do
ever
you use
use
it for?
But I wouldn't use it. That's the point. But I would still like to have it because I grew up, a Star Trek fan, a Star Wars fan. I just want to be, beam me up, Scotty. So,
Exactly. I mean, I think that it's definitely more of like a gimmicky thing. Like
Yeah.
with like the watch and the new iPad, it's like, ooh, it's the world's thinnest, and this is the world's first, and it's all. And you want to be. I understand you also kind of want to be a part of that. You want to be a part of the first of something, and it's something we're in the renaissance of technology right now, which is cool. But and I know like telling your grandkids like it's cool to say like, oh, like I had the first watch and everything. But if you think about it, if you also tell your grandkids, I was broke. Like it's not really gonna.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have any cool
Yeah.
stories beyond that.
We're not gonna go tell our grandkids I bought the first Air 2.
Yeah,
I don't even
exactly.
know what that is by then.
Personally, honestly, I didn't even realize they released the Air 1 because I just don't think iPads are as cool as when they first came out. I think that
They're
it was.
not.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they're trying to encourage it. But at the same time, I'm like, if someone were to give me one, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know
Like,
what I mean?
I only need a cell phone and a computer. Like, I don't know what I would use a tablet for. Just think about a watch. Like,
Yeah.
what am I going to use that for?
Yeah, well, and it's funny because they released the iPhone 6 Plus, and that compared to the recently released the iPad Mini, the size is not that far apart. Do
I
you know what I
know.
mean?
That's a little ridiculous, yeah.
It is a little crazy. If you had to pick one of the new products though that you would, try and buy, which one would it be?
It will definitely be the iPhone 6, not the Plus.
Just
I feel
the regular
like
iPhone 6.
the Plus is kind of big. Like, where would I put it at? Personally, as a female, like, I wouldn't know what to do with it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Same. I think maybe I'd pick a laptop or a tablet just because I've never had anything Apple, and like
Oh yeah, you're strictly Android and PC.
I am, and I have used the crap out of them. Like I really have, and that's the other thing too. Like I don't know what I would do with all of them because I just use mine until they die. So
Yeah.
I think I would have a laptop because they're so reliable. I mean, and they do everything that we need them to do. So
Yeah.
I think I would go with a laptop too, smartly, but obviously part of me would still want that watch. Just to use it once or twice, then get bored with it.
Yeah, that is true. I think I would actually probably do, even though it seems like I don't like iPads at all, I think I would do the iPad just because I don't know, like I feel like a laptop is kind of bulky and stuff, and if I can get that little keyboard attachment and just prop up that iPad or whatever, then I don't know, I feel like it'd be kind of cool to do that. So I think in an ideal world, I feel like I'm shopping right now. In an ideal world, I'd have my iPhone, I'd have an iPad, and then I'd have a desktop computer at home. But not I feel like the laptop is what's going to become obsolete because you have like your tablet and you have your phone, and then you have like maybe like a desktop computer back home, and then it's like this whole idea of this mobile computer with a laptop thing. I feel like might be changing because like this is my mobile computer. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's really interesting.
It's kind of crazy. I think too that. I just totally agree with you that I think at some point something's gonna become obsolete. But also I like having my laptop, and like I don't know if they're gonna come up with like an even smaller laptop because mine right now is huge, but I like it better than writing on a tablet.
Definitely. Well, we will continue our discussion while you're gone, but when we come back, we're going to discuss the weekend and what's ahead. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, it is Friday, and there is a lot of stuff going on campus this weekend. What are you guys planning to do?
I think I'm just going to study and get caught up with some schoolwork, honestly.
Yeah? Yeah, it's that part of it's
Yeah.
that part of the semester.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
Well, tonight I have to go shoot a video in the cemetery in BG. So those are my really weird fun
The
plans.
Oak Grove, right by
Oak
Old Camp.
Grove. Oh yeah, it's gonna be. I'm tired, but I just gotta get it done.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully, I mean, Old Camp just died, so hopefully you're not gonna like see his is he buried out there? Are you gonna see his ghost? If you get the ghost of Paul J. Olskamp
Bring
on
some
camera,
I would better get an A.
you better get it. You better bring it
Definitely.
back here.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
I actually have drill for my National Guard unit this weekend, so if I didn't have that, I would definitely hit up the home football game though.
Oh yeah, that is so exciting. I want to hit that up too. Definitely.
I wish I
I
could.
think we play Western Michigan. I think. Yeah.
I think it's the last home game for a while too, for a
Wow.
couple
Wow.
weeks.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, we still got more, but
We haven't had that many though, so hopefully we can go to a couple.
Well, definitely an exciting weekend, and we hope that you all have an exciting weekend as well. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Be sure to check us out at www.bg24news.org and on social media at facebook.com/bg24news and on Twitter at bg24news. Tweet us and tell us what you think about these stories like Ebola and the new Apple products. We'd love to hear what you have to say. So until next time, I'm Madeline Fenning with Matt Heitkamp, Megan Gallagher, and Candace Bridges, and we are your BG24 News Producers Panel. Have a safe weekend, everyone. We'll see you next time.